Let us ponder upon the truth. We are in the Garden of Eden. It is Adam and Eve. They have been instructed not to eat the trees in the middle of the garden, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Two possibilities. That's in essence the first choice, the first challenge of free will. Because unless they were going to take from both trees at the exact same time, they would have chose one before the other. Even without necessarily giving value of one than the other, for they could have both looked exactly the same. But if they look both exactly the same, then they still have been two trees. Still from taking from the left or the right, the bigger, the smaller. There's a choice. And yet, they were not a free will yet. No, human was. Human being the very exist at the beginning had free will. But he had no knowledge how to use that free will. He had no knowledge of choice. He had no knowledge of good and evil. God pointed out a choice. And they went to it. His words of don't could not have been understood, because to understand the to understand don't, meaning not to, meaning to stop from doing, means they would know that there is a existence of something other. So it's two things. And so there's doing or not doing. And being told don't is the action to do, and doing the opposite would be bad, a sin. It would be wrong. Because they couldn't know anything wrong. They couldn't know if there's any wrong or right. They couldn't understand the option of doing the don't. They couldn't understand the consequences of doing the don't, because they didn't understand that there could have been something wrong. So to get there, and they make a choice, a totally uneducated choice. They had no knowledge, except God's words and these trees, and that they had no knowledge. They couldn't have been complete understanding of the words, because they knew the completeness. Knowing the completeness would be known at all, would have known the full consequences and seeing and foreseeing the future. And thus they could have took from the tree of life. But they didn't have that option. They couldn't have. If they would have took from the tree of life, they would have been without sin. Because they wouldn't have known sin. They wouldn't have known any better. And it only been annoying that they could be sinned, because they didn't know, even the first time, even from taking from, they didn't know when they took that fruit. They did not know they were doing wrong. And it's only after taking it that they can then process of what they did. Then they knew, oh, I did wrong. And then that's when they got punished. It wasn't a test. Because then the results of the test would have been, they start questioning shit. They start acting funny, like there can be something wrong. But it's only by way of their ignorance that they could come to a state of being where they could then fall into sin. It was sort of like a trap. wasn't fair, at least. It wasn't fair. It wasn't 50-50. Or is it the ultimate 50-50? Because the lack of knowledge, there's no knowledge, is 50-50. It is not even able to process, I'm going to go left or I'm going to right. It wasn't a process that looked shinier. It wasn't a process, any differentiation. But even left and right, they would have to see two sides and look left, look right, look left, look right, and decide, actively decide to go to one direction or the other. Deciding as go this way. When we look to make a choice and it's not real, it's maybe something's good. They both be that. They're both almost similar in quality. Matter of fact, they might be the same, but you go to choose left or right, but you all stop and look. Eventually, you might say, whatever. That's the best they can do, whatever. That's the best. And taking the tree of life and not having any knowledge of good and evil. There's knowledge of good and evil, and then there's life. And they are separated. As if maybe if you don't have the knowledge of good and evil, that you will live forever. But not necessarily so, because it has nothing to do with each other. You could live forever without any knowledge of good and evil. And is that what creates happiness? And that's what keeps, that doesn't keep one out of trouble. Not their actions, because, once again, they ultimately, they would have sinned no matter what. They would have broke that first commandment, the first rule, the first law. The only difference is they wouldn't have known about it, right? So speaking of it is the knowledge.